Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning on Tuesday, October 1st. It's the first day of the month. I like October. I like it even more if the dollar got stronger against the baht. But you know, you can only control so many things. Today I've got myself a nice cappuccino. Quite tasty here at Pacamara Coffee. Pacamara Coffee Roasters. Yes, this is quite good. So, here we are. Another day, Tuesday. And right now, the Thai Baht, good morning, the Thai Baht is 32.51 against the dollar. Ooh, it lost a little something. Not much, but the thing is that the forecast for the Thai Baht is not very good in the next couple of years. I've got it, I'm looking at a couple different places. I got it 32.4810, which is up 0.25%. I've got it at 32.51. Oh my God. And now the forecast is showing 27.76 is the low for 2025. That's in April of 2025. It's showing that in December of this year, the forecast is 29.83. Now, man, I mean, even in 2028, it goes up to 33.12 and goes all the way up to 34.57. So that doesn't really bode well in the next 2025, 2026, 2027, almost all of 2020. So 4 years. Now, I don't know. I mean, this could change. I mean, obviously, it changed from yesterday. Yesterday in 2025, it was like 30 point something. Today, it's 27.76. It goes 28, 28, 28.74, 29, 29.87. I'm of the opinion that anything under 30 is really bad for hearing. And it led me to think about whether or not Thailand is done. And I've talked about this for a long time. I've said that Thailand is done to death. That's the phrase I use. It's been done to death. If you ask somebody if they've been to Thailand, if they haven't, they know somebody who's been to Thailand, or they're, one of their parents or one of their brothers or something has been to Thailand. Everybody and their mother has been to Thailand, and it's great that you get to see a lot of things. It's got a wonderful culture. It's a great place. I like it. It goes up and down just like the difference between interest rates for US dollars and Thai baht. Yes, I agree. However, this is much more pressing because it affects Thai people and it affects foreigners. And I have to say that yesterday's stream actually did very well. It's doing well. There's a bird inside here. Look at this. Can you see it? There's a little bird. Anyway. You have a bird inside. Now what was I saying here? This is not good for Thai people and for foreigners. And I've said it for a long time that I thought Thailand was done to death 10 years ago. I thought, people are not going to keep coming here. It's going to slow down eventually. Now, it may take a number of years before Thailand really does slide. But there goes the bird. but it's been experiencing significant growth. But in 1997, there was the Asian financial crisis, and that's what I experienced. And I mean, I was like, oh man, this is heaven, man. 56th of the dollar. Then the tsunami came, that kind of hit. Then the global crisis came in 2008. Then there was political unrest. There's been political unrest from 2006 to 2014. Then, of course, COVID from 2020 to 2022. And just now, post-pandemic period, now tourism is just coming back to where it used to be. And, Thailand has been targeting quality over quantity. They want high-spending tourists. And they want to promote sustainable tourism. And to my surprise, I just saw Maya Bay is open again. I thought it's been open. So they shut it again. Now they're opening it, which, I don't really care. I've seen a lot of areas just like that. And I know Maya Bay is special, but I don't have to see that place. I see other places in the area. I've been to islands where I'm on the island by myself or with 2 or 3 other people. When I went to Krabi, I took a boat. I paid 1,000 baht. I took a boat for half a day, and I went to like 3 islands. And one of the islands, there was 2 workers on the island. One was at the coffee shop, which really, there was nobody there. It was just me. The other person was, sweeping up the grounds or whatever. And, it was a beautiful place. So I don't have to go to Maya Bay. Would I go there? I guess I would just to go there, but I don't have to go there. You don't have to go there. There are plenty of places to go. You can go to places in the Philippines that are equally beautiful. You can go to places in Indonesia. And this is what I mean. The Chinese and the Indians are coming. The Chinese have dropped off a bit, but the Indians are still coming. The Russians are coming. Now, what happens when the Russians slow down to where they're not coming nearly as often? What happens when the Indians slow down and don't come nearly as often? And what happens when the Chinese don't come nearly as often? Then you're back to Malaysians and, a small number of Chinese. I mean, Chinese might be number 1 just because of the sheer mass of people. But Americans aren't number 1. We're not number 1 here as tourists or expats. So what's going to happen to Thailand? And that's kind of what I want to see. And they're trying to make it easier for people to stay. They're tourists. And they're putting all these visas out there that are, yeah, okay, if you got money, yeah, you can come. I mean, listen, do I want to pay for an elite visa? No, I don't. I mean, maybe if I was a bit older and I went, okay, listen, I'll pay for a 10-year visa. Even the girl over here is looking like, what is that noise? Thank you. Oh, I think they're cleaning the floor or something. I don't know. Oh, it's, Jesus Christ. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, what happens when these demographics decide not to come nearly as much and it drops off by, say, 50%? And the Thais are getting 15, 20 million instead of 40 million. I don't ever think it's going to hit 50 million, which I wondered about. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, could it happen? Yeah, it could. Will it happen? I don't think so. But I just think that this place, listen, when I came here, the reason I came here is I wanted to see the world and I wanted to see Southeast Asia, more specifically Southeast Asia, but I also wanted to travel the world a bit, and I have done so. I've done so in a professional capacity, I've done so on a personal capacity, I've done so with my family, I've done so alone. And, okay, I can see a bit more of Europe, I could go to Africa, if I really want to, I can go somewhere like, in South America. I've been there a couple of times. But I can go to, you know, let me just focus on the Amazon now. Well, I'm getting up there in years. So I don't know that I really want to, you know, focus on places that are farther away. I kind of want to focus on places that I can get to fairly easily. Even if when I get there, it may be difficult to get to some of the places that I want to go. But this bird is just flying around. So what's going to happen to Thailand when the people just say, I don't want to go there anymore? Now, how come I've been to many, many places. I've been to about 50 countries, right? Little bird's coming over to me. Anyway, so I've been to like 50 countries. Now, in Asia, I've been to Burma probably 10, 15 times. I've been to Cambodia like 55 times. Been to Indonesia 10 times. Been to Malaysia like 2, 3 times. Been to Singapore like 10 times. Been to Laos like 5 times. Where else? What else? Oh, Vietnam I've been to 3 times. I'll be there this month in about a week. That's my 4th time. So, how many times do I want to keep coming to these places? And that's the thing. And I've been to Hong Kong 4 times. Do I really want to keep going to Hong Kong? No, I don't. Do I want to go to China? I've been to China twice. No, I don't want to go back to China. I've been to Russia twice. Do I want to go to Russia? Well, I mean, you know, I wouldn't mind, but it's not on the top of my list. You know. And the thing is that inflation is up in the United States. Americans don't want to come to Thailand. I don't see an abundance of Americans going, oh God, I've got to get over to Thailand. You know, it's $1,000, $1,500 to get over here. For me to go to Ecuador, it's probably $400 from the U.S. and another $1,000, maybe $1,200 to get over to the U.S. from here. I mean, I'm talking about a non-Chinese airline, an airline that doesn't have, you know, 3, 4 stops, something like that. I'm not talking about finding the cheapest flight. So maybe it'll cost me maybe $1,200, maybe $1,500 to get over to America and go to Ecuador if I want to go to Ecuador. Now, I don't really want to go to Ecuador that badly, but maybe I would do it. But I do want to go to Europe. I want to go to a few places in Europe. So now that's money. That's big money. I mean, for me, it's like I got to spend $1,500 on a ticket. You never get that back. You get to go, and that's it. Now, people are going to come to Thailand. What it breaks down to is how many days are they going to be in Thailand? That's what they got. Oh, I know this girl. She used to work here. I don't know if she still does. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. I'm going to ask her when she's done. Very nice girl. I don't know if she still works here. Haven't seen her in a long time. So yeah, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Imagine that. Oh, the cost of tickets. So that's something, and you never get that cost back. Now we have 4 people going to the States next year. That's going to be, you know, that's going to be crazy what we have to pay. You don't get it. Well, it's the Fed has lowered interest rates. Nobody gives a fuck what you have to say, Cheap Charlie. Please, don't come in here with that bullshit. Nobody really cares what you have to say. Let me just tell you something. The only thing that people care about is, hey, what kind of shit's happened to you, buddy? That's about it. They don't care about, you know, what you know, and, oh, I'm going to teach you this, I'm going to teach you that. They don't give a shit. Nobody cares. No, people barely care what I got to say. I gotta grab this chick before she gets me. She's a very nice girl. I like this girl. She's always been very good to me. Nong, Nong, Nong. ตอนนี้ทำงานที่นี่ไหมเหรอไม่ได้หยุดทำงานฮะที่ออฟฟิศเหรอ
ใช่ค่ะ
อ๋อ
เปลี่ยนแผนก
เปลี่ยนอ๋อเมื่อก่อนเป็นผู้จัดการเป็นเจ้านายที่นี่ใช่ไหมอ๋อ
ตอนนี้ก็ยังอยู่ที่นี่แต่ว่าอยู่ข้างบน
Oh, okay. Okay. See you later. Yeah, she used to work here. She used to be a boss here. She was like one of the top bosses. She's got no makeup on, nothing. She still looks good. Well, good for you. You've been to Tesco Lotus. She didn't quit. She works in the office now instead of working on the floor. She used to be like probably in the, I don't know, I'd say top 10 of people who are in charge here. There's different sections of the mall that are owned, they have different percentages. That the way that it works in the company is, you know, this company owns this company owns that. There's like 3 or 4 different companies. And she worked for one of them. And she helped me a couple times, because especially one time I got into a little bit of a tiff with some lady. The lady did not want to give me a discount. And I was like, listen, I got a discount coupon here. You're not giving me a discount. What's the problem? So I went and talked to her, and she goes, oh, what's the problem here? Give them the discount. And so then I got the discount. She remembered me, and then she used to go into, I know that not everybody here has been here for a long time, but she used to go into Starbucks when Starbucks was right here. And I bought her, you know, I had like free points, and I had, you know, get 2 for 1 and stuff. And I go, listen, let me get you coffee. She had coffee. She sat down with me and talked to me for a bit. And she's very nice. So I always remember her. I don't even know her name, but I always remember her. And, you know, she's kind of cute. She's not real attractive, but she's kind of cute. Some guy would like her. I'm sure she's got a husband or boyfriend or something. Anyway, enough about the chick. Good morning, good morning. Sawadee ka. Hello, hello. So anyway, I've been saying for a long time, this place it's done to death. Now, if I've been to places, I mean, I've been living here for a long time. And, you know, I say that with no ego. I just happen to stay here. I got married, and, you know, generally when you get married and you want to stay married. Now, for us to go to the United States with 4 kids, 2 kids and 4 people, and get set up there would have been quite expensive. And then to set up there, and then for my wife not to be able to work there, would have been a pain in the ass. So that's why we didn't want to go back there. The interest rates manipulations around the world are all smoke and mirrors. It's gonna have nothing to do. Well, listen, I'm not going to get into that. That's conjecture. Besides the interest rates, the U.S. government unchecked spending, thank you, printing money like there's no tomorrow makes the U.S. dollar weaker. Listen, Cheap Charlie, let me tell you something about Hua Hin. Have you been to Hua Hin 25 years, 30 years ago? No, I don't think so. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, Hua Hin was the shit. It was the place where Thais went for their holidays. Not many foreigners went there. Not many foreigners lived there. It was very nice. I used to go there because I'd be like, listen, I can go down there. It takes me 4 hours, something like that, to get there. And I have a good time. We spend a couple of days on the beach. It was nice. Now I go there, and this is almost 3 years ago that I went there with Patia Bob and Mr. Billy. We went down there, and Patia Bob's ex-girlfriend, we went down there, and I was amazed at how many tourists there were. This is during COVID. Amazed at how many tourists were there. Amazed at the pollution. Amazed at the traffic. And I just went, this place ain't what it used to be. Now, you may get there and go, oh, this is so much better than America. But you know what? In due time, it will not be that much better. And what I'm saying about now about Thailand is that in the past, Thailand was freaking fantastic. You came here, you got things for a song and a dance. Now, you're not going to get that forever. Now, what they want is they want to drive the prices up. They want you to pay more. Because if you want to come to Thailand, you got to have money. Well, you got to have money everywhere you go. What's the difference between $200 from me and $200 from somebody else? There's no difference. Now, if that guy is spending $20,000 in 6 months, and I'm spending $5,000, they should want us both. Hey, TKO, Mr. Tokyo, how's it going? You know, if they want, what they should do is get everybody, not just a few of the people, not just the people with money. You know, I mean, really, look at, do people run to Japan? Do people run to Japan and stay there for a lengthy period of time, like in Thailand, where they want to stay for a month, 3 months, 6 months? Now, there are people that go there and stay there, yes. But it's too expensive for most people. They don't know how to get by there spending a minimal amount of money. Tell me that's true there, Sammy. It's difficult for me to survive in California with an income of $100,000. 2 children, a wife to feed as well. Do not believe the cheap Charlie who always tells you you can leave in Thailand for under $100. Oh, we welcome your wisdom, cheap Charlie. Jesus Christ. You know, I welcome you as a subscriber, and that's about it. Because of your two months of wisdom, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me or anybody else, honestly. I can tell you that for $1,000 is probably the bare minimum, unless you own a place and you're the kind, you're 75 years old and you sit at home and all you do is go out and buy water once in a while, send out for some groceries, you cook, and you read a book. You don't need $2,000 a month, so please just shut up, okay? You don't have to have $2,000 a month. I can tell you that right now. So please, don't get me started, all right? I know people who live here for $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and they live pretty well. So, you know, it's that simple, buddy. I hate to tell you. You're a tourist. That's what you are. Right now, you're still a tourist. When you've been here for 2 years, 3 years, and you stop living, you know, off of grabbed food and stuff like that, then I'll believe you. If you want a family, how much do you need a month? 2 kids, wife, working. That's probably the bare minimum, Sam. I mean, honestly, if you want to live not like a Thai, where you're, you know, eating 40 baht, 50 baht meals all the time, you're going to need quite a bit more. You're going to need at least $4,000 a month, $3,000, $4,000 to be comfortable. And then, like, I think now, I don't know because I haven't been tracking everything, but I know between my wife and I, we earn anywhere, it depends on her bonuses and stuff like that, but it's anywhere from about $5,500 to $7,500 a month. Now, that money's not, that's not my money. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. There's a like and there's a little heart. Let me see here. Can I do this? Yes, I can put another like there. There we go. Yeah, listen, if we're living in the countryside, that's a completely different story. If you're living in Bangkok, then forget about it. I mean, if I had $6,000 and I'm living in Suratani, where I just came from, I wouldn't have anything to spend money on. I mean, I'd be like going, do I want to buy another TV? Do I need another air conditioner? Whatever. If you want to live in the heart of the city, yeah, you need a lot of cash unless you want to live in a small place and be super frugal. Now, I got to tell you, I have become super frugal in the last month because I have a goal of some things that I want to get by the end of next year. And basically what that means is I can buy a coffee every day. Maybe I can buy some food once in a while. And that's it. I'm not going to be spending money on anything else. Well, I believe you about the how much it costs in California, because as I said, we took my 2 kids. They were small then. They didn't eat nearly as much. Now it's like they eat more than I do. But we went to, it was Burger King and Sbarro. And, you know, like 2 of them wanted Sbarro, 2 of them wanted, you know, like I think I wanted Burger King, they wanted Sbarro, my wife wanted Burger King. It was $50. And we spent every damn penny of that $50. I couldn't believe it. I was like, $50 for this? I was thinking maybe like 30. Oh God, they're a handful, man. You know, and they still live with us, and we're not, you know, in Thai culture, you don't kick your kids out. You know, you just don't do that. You know, they go at their own pace. I told Alec, save your money. When you get enough money saved, then you can go out and you can, you know, get your own place, do everything. Make sure you're set up financially before you go. I mean, I want him to have, you know, like at least 10 grand in the bank before he goes out to get his own apartment, starts paying his own bills and stuff like that. I mean, you know, if he could save an extra 10 grand in, say, 6 months, I'd be like, dude, put that money away. You know, I usually buy a 30 baht cappuccino from 7-Eleven, sandwich 29 baht. Shit food. All these people who go shopping at 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is garbage. Almost everything is garbage at 7-Eleven. Make them pay rent every month, but when they leave, you give them that money back to help them move into the first place. Nah, that's a pretty good idea. I don't make them pay for rent. I used to make Alex pay for 2,000 baht for electricity because he's got an air conditioner in his room and he likes to leave it on, which he doesn't need to. Yeah, bananas, hard-boiled eggs, maybe some drinks. I don't know, you know, it depends, but that's about it. Stop drinking your empty coffee cup. We all see it's fake. You're a moron. It's fake. Yeah, it's fake. Yeah, you see? Yeah, there, I'm gonna pour it out on my leg for you. There you go. Living in the countryside, I guess, is fine. You really want to work on projects like farming, building stuff, but you have to have been into the DIY and not like people. Thank you very much, Aiden. Thank you. Wow, channel name changes and watching counts double. Well, I changed the channel. It used to be an American in Bangkok, the channel, and somebody who I respect him because he has a lot of viewers, but everything he's recommended for me doesn't usually work. And he told me, just, you know, use your name. And a week or two ago, I just said, it doesn't work. I might as well try something else. So I changed the name to an American in Bangkok, which it's always been an American in Bangkok, but anyway. Me with my fake coffee here. That's so good. My parents did me a great favor not to help me after high school. The struggle to pay for my own college education this five made me strong and such. Listen, I just heard Shaq. He said, when my boys turn 18, I go, you're out. And he pays for their tuition. He pays for school. And that's it. After that, he goes, you better get a degree or two before you come back to me. The guy's pretty smart. He really has learned about money and things like that. But anyway, we're not really talking about that. We're talking about is Thailand finished as a tourist and expat destination? And personally, I think it is. Now, I could be wrong. But if you look at the forecast for the next 5 years, which is where? Where's my forecast here? Yeah, you look at the forecast, 25, 26, 27, 28. even in 2028, the forecast is 34.57. That is the highest that it goes. Now, why is the forecast 34.57 in the future? And it's 27 in some cases, and 28 for many, many months, and for basically for all of 2025, part of 2026, and then it starts going up in 2027 and up in 2028. But that is not good if they don't change something. And now, I've heard and I've read that they are going to, they being the governments, you charge your son electric. Yes, I did. He had a job, he was working, and I said, we just put in a new air conditioner into your room, and we pay about $210 for electricity. I said, you're gonna pay 2,000 baht, which is about 60 bucks, $55. You pay that, and that way you don't have to pay for food, you don't have to pay for rent, you don't have to pay for anything. And you put the rest of the money away, you spend a little, whatever you want to spend, and that's it. And I trust him, and he's very good about it. And so that was only he worked for 4 months. And then he stopped working at this place, so now he's looking for a new job, a part-time job, because he has to have surgery on his jaw. And he's gonna have to take time off from work, so, you know. This guy washes his own laundry in a bucket? God, how stupid are you? 7-Eleven has good products. Coke Zero, cheapest chips. I don't care about Coke. I don't care about Pepsi. I don't care about any of that shit. It's all junk food. And no, I don't wash my clothes in a bucket. I give my clothes to someone who washes them for me. Thank you very much. I've told this story, and I told it yesterday. Right down the street, there's a laundromat. There's 2 laundromats. I go to the lady, give her my bag of laundry. I go, okay, how much? She figures out how much it costs to do it. 175 baht or whatever, and she'll go, okay, 250 baht. Then I come back in 2 hours, pick up my laundry, it's done. So, Thailand will still be a tourist and expat destination for the rich people who don't care if the money is 32 or 40 baht. Well, yeah, I mean, I think so, but like, if you think about Americans, how many Americans want to pay for the airline ticket, which they may or may not pay more for it. It depends on what kind of deals are out there, when you look. I mean, it depends on all kinds of things. But let's say they pay a little bit more than they're used to paying. Okay, that's not a big deal. Then they go over to Thailand and they've got to pay a lot more. So Thailand is not necessarily, Thailand is, it doesn't have to break the bank. It is still kind of a budget-friendly destination, but at the same time, Thailand isn't short of any high-end places that you can stay at, or fine dining restaurants, activities that you need to pay quite a bit of money for. So all of those are going to go up in price. And, that's going to cost you. Yeah, okay, that's the answer. God, dude, you are so naive, man. Really. I hate to tell you this, Cheap Charlie. Go every 60 days and return. Yeah, and after 2 times of you leaving the country, you run the risk of them saying, oh, you've been here for 6 months already. We're not going to let you back in. Okay, you can come in one more time, and then when you leave again, that's it. That's the no visa entry. And there is some discussion about whether or not they want to let people keep coming back. Now, I personally think they should let people keep coming back for like a year. But if you look at India, India doesn't allow people more than 6 months. Then you have to wait another 6 months, then you can come back to India, depending on what kind of visa you have. So, Charlie, like I said, I don't know if this is the Cheap Charlie who is the Cheap Charlie. I don't know who it is. I really don't care. No, this is apparently an Aussie. Jesus Christ. I would say right now, when you've been in Thailand for 2 months, you know enough to get yourself in trouble. And that's it. When you start thinking, oh yeah, I got the ropes now, I know everything here, I know what's going on, you don't know shit. Thailand is like an onion. You keep peeling back the layers, and there's not much that you get into. I mean, every layer you have a little bit, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more. It takes you quite a while to really get the grasp of everything here and to learn what it's really like here. And people who don't really know, like you, and like a lot of people who have been here for a few months, they think, oh yeah, I got it down. You have only scratched the surface. And to be honest, I think I know Thailand pretty well. I mean, sometimes there's tests and I don't remember about a country, you know, or a city or something in Thailand. I may not know about this kind of stuff because I just don't remember certain things if they're not important. But I would say I have a pretty good grasp on Thai culture. How do you interact with people here? How do you get along with people here? What is the best way to approach somebody? What is the best way to talk to somebody? I know about these things. It just comes from me. It's not because I'm any smarter than anybody else, because I'm probably not. But it comes from being around people and being in certain situations for 30 freaking years. You know? And so when I see somebody who comes here for 2 months or even a year or two, some people are slow. Some people come here for a year or two. I saw some guy the other day who, he does Muay Thai. I wouldn't say he's young, but he's probably in his early 40s. And the guy speaks great Thai. He is good in Muay Thai, and he's got it together. You know, and those kind of people. And I know another guy who's an announcer. I don't know if he's on Channel 7 or what he on, but his name is Rob Cox. He used to fight Muay Thai, and actually he trained with the guy that I trained with once in England that was the friend of he was my friend's friend. And I went to England, and I was about 25 or something like that. And I went over there and trained with them, and I learned what it was like to really train hard. So I know a few people that have their act together. Not many foreigners who have been here for a few years really have their act together. It takes them longer. It took me longer. You know, it took me to having kids. Having kids helped me get it together. And now I'm very comfortable here. If it went down to 25, I'd be fine. I mean, yeah, I wish I had more money, but I would be okay. Because I'm going to stay here unless my wife and I go, you know what, let's just get out of here. Things are not that good. If we start feeling a different way about this place, we'll go, all right, let's get out of here. It's time to go. We got to go somewhere else. Where are we going to go? Well, we have to figure it out. How much money we got? We got 200K? 300K? How much do we have? You know, when you got 200K, you can spend 50 grand and get started in something, and hopefully you'll have enough money to make a go of it. You can last for 10, 20 years, hopefully. The tourists come to Thailand for 1 or 2 months for a vacation will have more money than they have time to waste in Thailand. They don't care about the exchange rate. No, I agree with that. I agree. And actually, they don't. That's the thing. Most people who come here for a month or two, I mean, there are some sensitive individuals who come here and they want to learn how to say Sawadee Ka, Sawadee Ka. They want to learn about the culture a bit. But there are many people who come here, they don't care. I mean, you know, they learn so they get along. But, you know, I was thinking about it earlier. If I went to Japan and I wanted to fit in, how would I do so? How would I fit in if I lived in Japan? The language. You start speaking the language and then people, they go, oh, he speaks Japanese. Oh, very, very well also. Now I go down, I mean, even my wife's sister said to me the other day, she goes, you're like Thai now. And I go, sorta. She goes, no, really, you're like Thai. I'm like, okay, thank you, you know, okay. I mean, it's a compliment. And, you know, I guess I should just take it. But I always go, you know, I'll never be Thai, I'll always be American. But sometimes I think in Thai. You know, sometimes I'm thinking of a word and I'm like, how do I say that in English? Because I know I always say it in Thai. You know, Thailand is slowly pricing out the cheap Charlies. Yes, so beware, cheap Charlie. Is McDonald's expensive there? What's expensive? I mean, you can still get you look like you eat Big Macs for breakfast. No, I don't. Thank you, though. No, definitely not. You're looking at anywhere from $6 to $8 for a burger and fries and a Coke. Now, you may be able to get an ice cream or something like that for, I don't know how much it is now. Maybe it's 29 baht. Maybe it's 19 baht. I know some places are 19 baht, some places are 29. It depends. Well, I understand in Japan it is quite a bit different than Thailand. But you know, if you speak some Japanese, to some people at least, they may want to communicate with you. I mean, listen, there are chicks in Japan, they're dying for the chance to speak to somebody who is different, who speaks Japanese. They don't want to speak to some Japanese guy all the time. Some people do. Some people don't mind. They'll speak to anybody. You know. But my thing is, if you're coming here, and you know how to speak the language, it endears you to the Thais. If I have a problem with any Thai, whatever the problem might be, however big or small, generally I can talk my way out of it. I just start talking to them. Next thing you know, no problem. My friend, hey, how you doing? You know. Carton of beer here in Australia is now around 60 Aussie dollars. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you know, they sell Corona here. I don't know how much it is because I haven't bought one in a while, but you know, if you buy a 6-pack, it's cheaper than buying one, but I don't really buy beer. I mean, I bought 2 Heinekens, big Heinekens. I don't remember how much they are. And they're sitting in my refrigerator. They've been sitting there for 6 months, 9 months. A carton of cigarettes is $100 here after taxes. Wow. Yep, same in Japan. You show that you took the time to learn the language, and it really makes them appreciate you a lot more. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's always an in. You know, it's always going to be an in for you. Oh, I really need to know the international language of Apple Pay or Google Pay. Well, first of all, they don't take either of those here. I don't know if they take Google Pay, but they don't take Apple Pay here. You can't use Apple Pay here, so they don't take that. Now they take the QR code, and they understand the QR code. They understand green. But they understand that everywhere. You got money, it doesn't matter where you are. You know. Sammy, how's your exercise going? I did yoga yesterday and I am sore as, just really sore. My friends from the US get annoyed that they can't use Visa Tap and Pay here. Actually, I got 61 watching and 22 likes. No have. No have Apple Pay. Well, I came here today. I spent 35 baht, that's $1, a little more than $1, to get here, right? I spent 125 baht on this cappuccino, which is what? A little bit less than $4, which to me is not really cheap. And I'll spend 20 baht to get back. Now, I may buy some cheese today. I might buy some sausage. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to buy. And I may go to the market and buy some eggs. So maybe altogether I'll spend maybe $15, $20. They don't take my Black Centurion of Amex either. Wow. They take my Amex Platinum, but that's not that big of a deal, really. It's good, Scott. Getting ready to do my cardio. I got a Nintendo game that is a punching simulator. Has you do a bunch of dodges and punches for 30 minutes straight. Very fun and gets you sweaty. Yeah, I know about those kind of games. Yeah, I don't want to do them, honestly. Tracking all of it in Discord. Good. A good friend of mine recommended the Wise card. Well, I have a Wise link down below in the description that you can use. I only make money after like 3 people spend like $200. I've never made money from it, but I highly recommend Wise. I do have an ATM card from the United States that I didn't have for about 2 years. I said, no, I don't want it. And yeah, my fake coffee. I didn't have an ATM card for I have 2 US bank accounts, and I had ATM cards for both of them. One of them, I was supposed to get the card, it never arrived at my parents' house. Never arrived. So I just went, I don't need it. The other one, I just said I don't need it. Then I went in and I said, okay, I want it. They set me up with a card. They gave me a temporary card that didn't work. And then I never got the other card. And I'm like, well, and I just went, I don't need it. Now with Wise, what the thing is with Wise is sometimes I get the money like in seconds. Sometimes you get the money in your Wise account and you want to transfer it somewhere else, and it goes, oh, it'll take 4 hours, or it'll take 6 hours, or it'll take 3 days. Sometimes you want to transfer the money, and it goes, it'll take 6 days to get your money. No, I don't want to wait 6 days. I don't do that. I don't, get the money ahead of time. So I have the card now. I have a new card. It just came. My mother has it. She has to send it to me. She's going to send it this week. I'll have that card. So if ever there's a problem with Wise, I just go and take it out with my ATM card. Now, you lose a little bit of money with your ATM card. But usually I don't take out more than $1,000 or $2,000 at a time. So it's not like I'm losing a lot of money. QR works well. I love the QR code here in Thailand. It's fantastic. There are places that will not take cash, and I don't like that. And quite honestly, I'd like to start using more cash and less money with the QR code, just because I just want that cash in my hand. I want gold and I want cash. Yes, I'm an affiliate of Wise. Garmin Pay is basically Visa card pay. No Garmin Pay. Do you keep joint bank account with your wife or separate, and each person contributes to a joint pool of funds? Interesting you asked that. I'm hoping for my next trip to Southeast Asia I can load up a 20,000 on my smartwatch. You can't use, I don't think you can use that. That's what I'm saying. You can't use a Garmin smartwatch. As far as I know. Let me see something here. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it says it is. Uses tokenization offered by global payment networks to secure information. Encryption has data is saved in an isolated safety chip, which is on a drive, so to keep sensitive data from malware or virus. In addition to Thailand, Garmin Pay is also available in 22 countries around the world. Visa launches Garmin Pay, so it is available. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for teaching me that. Now back to Aiden's question here. Let me see here. Do you keep joint? No. We did that in the beginning. We did, and then it was just like, it was a pain in the ass to keep track of stuff, because she's got all kinds of things she pays for. I was thinking about giving her, putting her on my Amex card, and maybe her putting me on the Visa card, her Visa card. She's got like 3 credit cards, and she pays them off every month. She only uses one, unless there's an emergency, and she pays them off every month. I got an Amex card, and we just decided, no, we don't need to. We don't need to do that, really. She has plenty of money. I got plenty of money. I mean, I wouldn't say plenty, but I mean, we have enough to do what we need to do. I know I pay for rent. I pay for electric. I pay for Netflix. I pay for Spotify. I pay for a lot of things. I pay for garbage. What else? We both pay for food. And sometimes I'll pay for something and I'll go, listen, I'm paying 30,000 baht. Can you give me 10,000 baht? Yeah, okay. All right. And sometimes we don't say anything. We just pay it, So, but it works well for us. We don't have fights about money. I mean, it's just, do you have the money for this? Well, I'll have it on the, the 7th or something like that. Okay. We'll wait till the 7th or whatever. I mean, we're going to Vietnam. That's 20,000 baht for the tickets. I mean, that's not a huge amount of money. But 20,000 baht plus another 20,000 baht for Airbnb. What was your job before you moved to Thailand? Well, I had a print shop. Well, I was really a printing broker. I worked for print shops for a while. Then I was an estimator at the place. And then from being an estimator, I bought out the customer list because they were going out of business. And then I basically had an office, one girl working for me. I had a computer, I had some furniture, and I just had the customer list, and I just called everybody up, and we squared things away. And I had some big accounts, and I made some good money, and that's how I got over here. I ended up selling that company. So, it was just enough to get me over here, and things worked, and I'm happy about that. All right, so Vietnam, Laos, Sri Lanka, and Japan are cheaper alternatives to Thailand. I went over this a little bit yesterday. The daily cost in Thailand, on average, travelers can expect to spend about $88 a day with accommodation for a mid-range hotel costing $38 a night. Budget travelers can get by on $30 to $40 a day by staying in hostels and eating street food. Prices for accommodation 200 to 400 baht for dorms and guest houses to over 3,500 for luxury stays. Street food is relatively cheap, around 60 baht, $1.50, while a meal in a basic restaurant can cost 140 baht. Local Thai beer at a bar will set you back around 80 baht. Metered taxis or tuk-tuks cost between 80 to 300 baht, while long-distance buses and trains can range from 650 to 1,000 baht, or even a little bit more. Vietnam. Travelers in Vietnam typically spend around $61 a day, making it more affordable than Thailand. Accommodation for budget travelers start as low as $10 a day. Have you ever gone online at the Social Security website to find out what your monthly payment bill when you turn 62? Yes, I've already done it. I've already applied, and I'm going to get it in shortly. For a mid-range stay, prices hover around $15 to $30 for a double room, while budget hostels can be found for $5 to $10. Street food meals are incredibly affordable, around $1 to $3 per meal. Laos. Travelers can expect to spend around $30 per day. Wow. With accommodation being very affordable, budget guest house typically cost around $10 to $15 per night. Now I gotta tell you, I've stayed at some $10 to $15 a night places in Laos, and they ain't that great. You're not like gonna go in there and go, wow, this is so nice for the money. You're gonna go, oh, there's a bed and there's a fan. Okay, thank you. Meals cost roughly $3 to $5, and transportation costs, especially buses, remain low at $3 to $12 for long distance journeys. Laos is cheap. Vietnam is fairly cheap. Especially you can get some beers. I can't remember how much they were, but my buddy goes, oh, you're going to get 29-cent beers or something like it. And they were like, 75 cents. They weren't 29 cents anymore, but it was cheap. Japan is significantly more expensive than both Thailand and its Southeast Asian counterparts, with an average daily cost of $132 per day. Accommodation alone averages $63 a night per solo traveler. Double rooms in mid-range hotels cost around $124, and even budget options can be quite costly compared to Thailand. A day's worth of meals in Japan typically cost around $32. Now, I've been to Japan several times. I don't remember how much I spent, but I know it wasn't all that much. I mean, I had a business hotel for $80 a day, and the guy let me use the employee let me use his laptop because my laptop was broke. It broke right when I got there. Just by luck. Accommodation in Malaysia varies depending on the level of luxury. But budget travelers, $8 to $17 a night, while private rooms in hostels range $10 to $40. Mid-range hotels can cost between $45 and $70, with luxury hotels charging $70 plus per night. This increase in hotel prices mean that foreign tourists might find Malaysia's accommodation less affordable, especially compared with other Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam or Laos. All right, so Malaysia is a little bit more expensive than both of those places. Let's see here. Budget tourism trends. Vietnam and Laos are often considered more attractive destinations for budget travelers due to their, and they don't put Cambodia in here, I don't know why, to their lower cost of living compared to Thailand. Japan, while more expensive, is also working to appeal more budget-conscious tourists by offering affordable hostels and meal options. And capsules. They got capsules in Japan, too. Let's see here. The baht is forecast to fluctuate between 32.80 and 33.5. The continued appreciation of the baht goes against broader global trends, as currencies like the yen and euro have not experienced similar gains. At the same time, gold futures in New York surpassed $2,600 per ounce for the first time, driven by lower interest rates and escalating geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. This spike in gold prices, coupled with the stable baht, has been a significant factor contributing to the currency's recent strengthening. Given the Thai baht's continued appreciation, travelers might increasingly consider alternative destinations like Vietnam and Laos, which provide similar cultural experience at a fraction of the cost. Or they might just go to Mexico, or Costa Rica, or Dominican Republic, or somewhere else like that. Americans may not want to come to Southeast Asia. Thailand's diverse offerings, especially in terms of quality services and accommodations, continue to make it compelling despite rising cost. So there you go. But I still look at the exchange rate and go, some people will figure out what they can get, how much everything's going to cost, and they'll just go, I don't want to go there. For long as I can remember, there has been some barnacled curmudgeon, thank you, stuck to a bar stool, well that's not me, whinging about how their dollar meal now costs $2 or some variation thereof. A dollar meal 30 years ago now cost about $2.50. That's not that much when you compare it to other destinations. Food and accommodation are generally cheaper here. Everything else, coffee, groceries, some forms of transportation are every bit as expensive or more than the U.S. I don't know about Australia, but the U.S. Central America, South America, cheap and beautiful, so dangerous. I never felt comfortable seeing the police carrying automatic rifles. Well, I mean, go to Cambodia, go to Myanmar. They carry automatic rifles there. You know, I don't care about it. Most of the time, the people there, they don't want to shoot you because they don't want any problems. They know they're going to be in for a shitload of problems if they shoot somebody. And don't give them a reason to shoot you. You know, if they say, put your hands up, yeah, okay, no problem. You know. Now this guy is, I congratulate the Thai people for being able to demand higher prices for their wonderful service, food, hospitality, and scenery. Why shouldn't they participate in benefits of economic growth? This country does not exist for the benefit of whiny, shoestring tourists and bagpackers. Besides, prices didn't rise in a vacuum. The entire world is more expensive. That's true, but Thailand is getting more expensive than some of the other countries. And herein lies the problem. Why is Thailand getting so much more expensive and people have to pay more? First of all, they're not earning a whole lot more. If they're earning 25,000 baht a month on average, yeah, okay, granted, if one person's making 35 and others making 20, they're making 55,000 baht a month, they can live comfortably here. That's good. That's how you're supposed to be able to live. You should live because you don't live beyond your means. And that's something I'm very good at. I don't live beyond my means. I don't go out. Listen, if I really wanted to, maybe I could go out and buy a brand new car. And I'd have a payment. And that payment would be expensive. And then I got to have insurance. And then I got to pay for maintenance. I got to pay for... I could do that. I don't want it. I don't want to have any debt. I don't want to carry any debt. Fixed income pensioners who live at the edge of their means, the price of increasing the prosperity of the nation of hold, and so be it. Thailand, even Bangkok, is still dirt cheap by global standards. I don't think it's dirt cheap. I hate to say that. Again, I'm going to say it's cheaper, not necessarily cheap. I've got 34 likes. You got to hit refresh. So far, I show 34 likes and 54 people right now in the chat. It was up to about 70 earlier, which is great. Appreciate that. Yeah, I got 35 likes right now, 36 likes, and 54 people. I've been shaken down by the Federalists in Mexico. I was too many years ago as a tourist more than once over the decades on my various Mexican vacations. That is a problem. Generally, the Thais don't shake you down unless you get caught up in something shady. Let me see here. They don't let Americans go in the economic zone where the casinos are in Laos. Doesn't bother me. MGTOW, how you doing? Security guards carry guns here in the Philippines, just means it's safer. Yeah, and somebody, what was that comment? Let me see if I can bring it up here. Somebody left some kind of idiotic comment. I don't want to call it idiotic, but It wasn't very smart. Now let's see here. Now this was smart. Rice exports are going to hurt the Thai farmers in Isan a few months after the harvest, back to the poor being hurt the most. Not only rice harvest, palm oil, rubber, all that in the toilet. Now let me see here. Oh, I like this one. I keep getting comments. This is from Vintage Thai Ladyboy. That Thai people don't want Westerners in their country. We in general, from top to bottom, are very flattered that you guys find our land agreeable. See, here's the thing. Do I really care what you think about me? No, it's nice that people like me. It's nice that people like you. It's great. But I understand that some people just don't like me just because they don't like the fact that I'm an American or I'm white or whatever. I don't care. I don't have time to waste wondering if you like me or don't like me. If you don't like me, oh well. Big deal. You happen to be Thai and you don't like me, I happen to be an American. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like me because I'm an American. I don't care if you do like me because I'm an American. If you like me, great. If you don't like me, oh well. Why do I need to worry about this? Here's what I suspect why many of you think what you think. Deep down, you are really uncomfortable with foreigners living in your country, but due to PC and all that jazz, you really can't be blunt about it. No one stops you from projecting on others, though, and boy, do Thai people know it. Sorry, I think that's a dumb comment. Because I, like many other foreigners here, like, I don't care who's in America. I don't really care. I don't want you opening up the borders. And in Thailand, they don't open up the borders. Okay, I can respect that. But in America, I don't want America opening up the borders and letting anybody come in. However, if decent, good, hardworking people come into the country and they happen to be from a different culture, I don't care. That's why it's a melting pot. And America is more than 50 times bigger than Thailand. But you don't say anything about that. So I don't project, I just tell it like it is. Now, this is the comment I was talking about. I would agree the Philippines and Indonesia are excellent alternatives to Thailand. Philippines, which is funny, they didn't mention Philippines in this piece earlier. Philippines is a notch below Thailand. Yes, it is. Maybe even 2 notches below. Food and safety. And the poverty. 3 things that really put it down. But there are a lot of beautiful places there, and the people are quite nice. I disagree about safety in the Philippines. It's much safer than the U.S. We're not talking about comparing the U.S. and the Philippines. Because in the U.S., that also is quite large compared to the Philippines. And if you compare Thailand and the Philippines is much more dangerous. And I'm not saying you can't walk around and nobody's going to bother you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, on the whole, the Philippines is more dangerous. That's all. Accept it. I don't care if you like it or not. That's what I think. And I don't think I'm wrong. I have traveled through the slums and never felt unsafe. Well, have you traveled in areas that weren't the slums? Because I traveled through many slums in Thailand, and I've traveled through slums in Bangladesh, in Philippines, in Nepal, many places. I never have felt unsafe. And anytime I have, I just kind of, postured up and, was like, okay, come on, let's go, whatever, we got to do it. In Nepal, that happened once. I'm sure Chucky remembers that. And that's it. There's no problem. People back down. They don't want a problem. Yes, I saw that. Well, and that's another big thing here. Filipino people are nicer and more welcoming to foreigners. I don't know if that's true. I think that's subjective to your own beliefs. If if enough don't like you, it's a big deal. Well, I'm sure there's quite a few people that don't like me, but I would say there's a lot more that do like me. But like I said, if people don't like me, I don't care. It's their problem, not mine. I don't really have a problem with how I am. I know I live a good, straight, honorable life, and that's all I care about. Google announced yesterday they chose Thailand in Asia to invest $1 billion in Thailand to accelerate AI growth. And that is important. Now, they're getting a hell of a lot of money for this. What is it going to mean to Thailand? I don't know yet, because that's really all that I know, is that Google announced that they're going to invest inside of Thailand with the AI. If you're not into shady shit in the Philippines, nothing will happen to you. I wish I could believe that, honestly, but I've been in the Philippines many, many times, and I've been in a couple situations where, how can I say, me and my friends had to basically, tell the guys, get away from us. Don't come any closer, because we don't want any problems. We had to get like that. That was one time. Another time, it was just me. And, I tell the story, and I know this is not a big deal. This is anecdotal. I was at a mall in the Philippines. Now, I'm in a hurry because I have to fly out later that day. I get out of the mall, and I see there's a big line for people to get in so they can get a taxi. This is in Manila. I decide I'm going to walk out, and it's a ways to the street. I'm going to walk out to the street and just get a taxi going by. I'm not going to wait in the line, right? I'm way out. I mean, you go past the parking lot, and then there's the street. Now, I'm standing there, looking for a taxi, and all of a sudden, a security guard comes up, and he goes, "You can't get a taxi here." And I go, "No, I'm gonna get a taxi here." No. What do you? Get away from me, man. He starts getting pissed off. And I'm like, "Listen, I'm getting a taxi here. You don't tell me what to do. I don't care. I'm not standing on private property anymore. I'm out by the street. Leave me alone." I got pissed. And he's blah, 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 blah. And then the taxi pulls up. I jump in the taxi. The taxi driver is laughing. I'm laughing. And we drive off. Now, I almost had an incident with the security guard simply because I didn't want to abide by I don't know if it was a rule or what it was, but I'm not standing in the mall parking lot anymore. I'm standing out near the street. So, to me, I'm like, if you don't like it, too bad, man. I'm going to get a taxi here. I have visited over 30 countries outside of America. The place that I found most friendly people and where they like Americans and always wanted to buy me a beer was Australia. Now, I have not been to Australia. This bird is still here. You got to let this bird out. I do like Australians. I've got a lot of Australians in the chat. I've become friends with some of them. And, I almost had a chance to go to Australia, but it didn't work out. I was going to go over there for some fights, and it just didn't work out. So I didn't go. And I really haven't had any opportunity. And I'm like, if I go there, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, and I'm going to have to be there for quite some time. Because you can't go you can't go to Australia for a week. You need to go there for like a month to make it worthwhile. So maybe in coming years, that's what I'll do. I'll go to Australia for a month with my wife, maybe with the kids, and I'll just go around to different areas, and that's what I'll do. Thailand may be finished for Westerners, but not for other Asians. Yeah, I would say that's probably true. I was violently attacked in Cebu. I've been to Cebu many times. And I stayed at the Waterfront, was it the Waterfront Hotel? I don't don't know what it's called, but there's a waterfront. Yeah, Waterfront Hotel Cebu, and I was there for boxing on several occasions. I had a really good time when I was there, and there was nothing dangerous about it. I mean, you know, yeah, I had a good time. I mean, you know, simple as that. Now, in Angeles City, not so much. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know, can I do that? All right, let me do this here. Click the like on his super chat. I appreciate that. Appreciate the super chats. That's always nice. Oh yes, if you go to Australia, you must be rich. If I go to Switzerland, I've got to be rich. You know, my wife and I were going to go to Switzerland, you know, like in November. We were going to go. Something like that. I don't remember when it was. October, November. We were going to go. And they were going to go to America. And I was like, listen, I think we should wait. Okay, we're going to go to Switzerland. It was going to cost us like, probably like $300 a day. But we were going to go there for like 2-3 days. That was it. And, you know, to me, that was a lot of money. I was like, well, you know, we're going to have to go somewhere cheap after this. And we were going to. So, now let me see here. Here we go. I stayed in Bulgaria for 1 month last year, Rus for a week, Sofia for a few weeks, and Plovdiv for a weekend trip. I also went to Belgrade, Novi Sad for weekend trips, and I've been to Bangkok collectively almost 3 weeks this year alone. Capital is a capital. Bangkok is much more expensive than Belgrade or Sofia, and I have heard that. Certain places in Europe are cheaper than in Thailand, even in Ukraine. In my experience, Bangkok is cheaper by a bit, if not similar, than perhaps Sofia. You've never been to Belgrade, Sofia. You just bought on tourist, expensive. Do not have my own experience to back this up. Okay. Let's see here. This is Thailand is far from cheap. Well, tourist areas anyway, which is hence why I don't want to hang out in tourist areas. Because when I pay 50 baht for something here, why do I want to go somewhere else and pay 100? Especially when there's a lot more people that I really don't know, I don't want to be around, I don't really care about them. I don't care about most tourists. Let's just face facts. I don't. And they don't care about me. And that's okay. I appreciate the guys who are like, listen, I do my research. I know I can get a good little hotel here. It's a good value. It's 30 bucks a night. Boom. I'm in. I appreciate that much more than, you know, somebody who's like, oh, we'll just get the most expensive place. If you want cheap Thailand, then you need to live like a Thai while you're there, which is kind of true. You got to eat Thai food. Once in a great while, you can have a Western dish. You know, you need to really watch where your money goes. Now, I don't live like a Thai. My wife doesn't live like a Thai. I mean, sometimes we do. But she's constantly ordering Grab food. Oh, let me get some food for the kids. I'm like, we got food at home. Yeah, I don't want to make anything. Oh, I'll make it for them. No, don't worry about it. Okay. You want to spend the money? Okay, fine. Go ahead, do it. Right? When I'm with my Thai lady friend, she knows where to eat and travel on the cheap. 70 baht for a rice and pork and not adding, say, a Diet Coke. None of these places had an English menu, just Thai. Well, 70 baht is not cheap. I hate to tell you. 40 baht is cheap now. 30 baht is cheap now. 50 baht is like average. Flights are horrendous prices for where I am in England, about £1,000. Sometimes if you book early, it is below that. Now this is about a year ago. The going rate for 2 hours of Thai massage here, which I'm not sure where it is. Let's see here. $220 for 2-hour massage back wherever this guy is. 220 bucks. My mom booked a 30-minute massage back home when I was in town. $95, and they expect a $20 to $30 tip, and it was a very meh massage at that. I'm going to tell you something about massages. Okay? I mean, really. Let's see here. Hang. What is this? This guy's an asshole. What? Statistics announce 200 guys on that. All right, let me check this out here. What the? I don't know what the name of this song is. They play it every freaking day. You went on a trip to Portugal, Ecuador. Would you ever live there? Do you like them? Flights are only around $500 from California to Bangkok one way. Well, one way, that doesn't mean anything. If you're not going to come here and live here, then you need to buy a round-trip ticket. And that means it's probably $1,000 or, you know, maybe $800. It depends. Now, as far as Portugal and Ecuador, I liked Portugal a lot. I liked the city, and what I will say is their espresso was dirt cheap. It was like 50 cents, 75 cents for a really good espresso. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'll have another. You know, I just sat there, you know, I think I streamed that. I don't know. I don't remember really, but I could not believe how cheap the espresso was. And the coffee, it was really cheap there. And I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. This is great. However, in Lisbon, the meals were a bit pricey. We could get inexpensive meals for maybe €7 or something like that, €6. However, when we ate out at a restaurant, it was a nice restaurant. I mean, fairly nice restaurant. You know, it wasn't top of the line, but it wasn't, you know, a piss poor restaurant. It was a pretty good restaurant. And we spent about $100 for 4 people. We had a great meal. It was very good. One time we went in this little part of the city where they were having a, like, what do you call it? You know, like a festival. They were having a festival, you know, and we paid, one place we paid about $10 for each person, and we got sangria, we got all, it was about €50, €50. So, whatever that is in dollars. In that meal, we were sitting in a bench. I know we streamed that or shot video of it. We were sitting there on the bench, it was all of us, and we're eating all this food that was barbecued, and we're eating with all these other people, and we're talking to people, oh, it was great. But we went into, the first night we were there, we went into a restaurant, we heard these people singing, and I go, oh, what is this? So I looked in and I go, oh, wow, really dark little joint, restaurant, and there's people singing and dancing. I'm going, wow, this is great. So we went back to the hotel, dropped everything off, and then we walked back and we came to the restaurant. And some of the people were regulars there. Those regulars were singing songs, which is fairly normal in many restaurants. they were singing all kinds of songs there. And I was like, man, this is great. You sit here and you just eat your food, and it's fantastic. And they got, you know, a couple people can really sing well, and they're singing all these songs and dancing, and you know, they're just doing little dances and stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. So that was an experience. However, if I was going to live in Portugal, I'd like to go somewhere near the ocean. I'd like to go on an island like, you know, what's the island? Is it Madeira? The island. I'd like to go somewhere where there's beaches. And I don't think that the beaches are going to be, you know, like in Thailand. But I think it would be cheaper than Lisbon. And yeah, okay, maybe. There's a guy, he hasn't been in and around, I haven't seen him in a while, Tim. He's been to Portugal quite a few times. He tells me about, you know, I think north is cheaper than south, or south is cheaper than north. I don't really know. As far as Ecuador goes, the village that we were in was really cool, but it wasn't that big. So most of the time we're sitting there having coffee, we're looking at the ocean, we're going to another city, we're taking the bus and going to another city, and then buying all kinds of seafood, and then coming back and preparing it. We didn't really have all that much to do, or we're drinking wine. Now, as far as food goes, the place was fantastic. It was really cheap. I mean, it was probably 60% of the cost of what it is here in Thailand. The groceries. And I wish they would stop this music. So irritating. So anyway, you know, we would get back. There were people driving around selling shrimp. Fresh shrimp. They got it that morning. They brought it in that morning. They drove around the village, and people bought it. We bought it. You know, we bought like 2 kilos of shrimp. So I like that stuff. Now, if I live there, like my friend lives there and he works. He has a film festival. So he works on the films, he works on edits, he looks at things. You know, he's got things to keep him busy. I don't know what I would do if I was there, because I don't think that I could just do live streams from there or make videos from there. You'd have to go all around Ecuador. And I think that's what a lot of the people in Ecuador do. There's a couple people that I've seen, and they go either throughout Ecuador, or they go through South America, or whatever. I do like Ecuador. And under the right circumstances, I would probably live there. Yes. Same with Portugal. Very nice place. Portugal's very, very nice. I really liked it. I liked where we stayed. We had an Airbnb. It was fantastic. It was such a nice place. My wife and I were like, God, I'd like to have an Airbnb like this every single time, you know. It was so nice. And then when we stayed in Ecuador, we stayed at my buddy's place. And, you know, he had 3 or 4, I think, how many bedrooms? 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, and 5 bathrooms. He was in one bedroom. My wife and I were in a bedroom. Alex and Nicholas had their own bedrooms. And then there was a living room. They were all separated so that, like, you're in a bedroom, there's no other rooms connected to the bedroom. You just go outside, and right there is the swimming pool. So that was really nice. I really liked that. And I think he's done a good job with his place. And because he's busy and does things, and he stays busy, I think that's good. Because if you're going to stay in Thailand, if you're going to stay in Ecuador, if you're going to stay in Portugal, you got to have stuff to do. I mean, you could be a retiree, and you might be the kind of person that you just want to read a book all day. Or you want to go and have a coffee. Like for me, what I like to do is wake up, take your time waking up, you go out, you have a coffee, you sit and talk to a couple people, you get some groceries, you go home, you have lunch, maybe you take an afternoon nap. As you get older, you want to take old man naps. And then, maybe go out and exercise or do something like that. And you come home, all right, you start preparing for dinner, you have dinner. And I like, it was very nice because we had dinner. It was the boys and I, my wife, and my friend in Ecuador. And we'd sit around, we'd drink wine, we'd talk. We just have a really good time. Good conversation beats sitting on the phone looking at your, at your Instagram or whatever else it might be. I wasn't sitting on Instagram all day. I wasn't sitting on Facebook. I wasn't sitting on YouTube. I was living life, which is to me much more important than being online. And while I do, live streams and I do some videos, it's not the most important thing in my life. And, if it came down to it, in the end of the day, I would stop. I would just do it, and I would just, okay, I'm going to enjoy my life. Maybe that's what I would do. I don't know. It depends on the situation, I would love to visit the Azores before I die. Yes. The baht is not stronger than the dollar. Therefore, it does not affect tourists. Yes, it does. But it will affect those who send goods out of the country because they will receive less baht. Well, I hate to tell you this, but if you got $1,000 in America and you come to Thailand and you transfer it, or you exchange it, before it used to be 37,000 baht. Now it's 32,000. So you're losing 5,000 baht. The prices are the same. So you don't have as much buying power. So sorry, it doesn't matter whether the baht is stronger, weaker, whatever. What matters at the end of the day is how much can you buy for your money. You can buy less for your money now than you could 3 months ago. I love walking and drinking my coffee cups and watching the stock market for a while, watch CNBC and Bloomberg for a while to help me manage my retirement account investments. Yeah, I don't mind looking at things to help me to understand what's going on in the world, but I don't want to dwell on it. I don't look at news all that much anymore. I haven't been to Fox, CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC. I haven't been to any of those sites in probably a couple of weeks. Baht getting stronger against the other currencies does effective tourism, as folks visiting Thailand don't get more for their dollar. Last year, it was this year, about 3 months ago, the US dollar, 4 months ago, US dollar was 37 plus, and now it's 32 plus. Let me see something here. $32.39 at the moment, which is down 0.03% from yesterday. So there you go. I hate to tell you this, but the exchange rate does matter. Now, it doesn't matter if it's fluctuating, 0.2 of a point. But if you're losing 15%, 20% of your money, that obviously matters. And it's going to make things difficult. This is why people are saying, Vietnam and Laos, and I'll say Cambodia and the Philippines may be better destinations than Thailand simply because of the exchange rate. As far as paying more than local people, I can tell you I don't pay more. The only time I pay more is if I go to a national park and it says foreigner 200 baht, Thai 20 baht. And most of the time I don't go to those anymore because I've already been to damn near every park. And if I have to do that, then I just pay it. I don't bitch about it. Even though, if I'm paying taxes here, if it comes down to where I'm paying taxes here, I should at least get to go into places for the same price as the Thais who pay taxes. That's how I look at it. Now, I don't even want to talk about the PR. Somebody was bitching about me and the PR, and it's not this, it's not that, you don't know. And no, listen, I do know, pal. I'm not talking about getting PR if you are working with a Thai company. I'm talking about if you are a retiree. Anyway, let me see this here. The exchange rate is as meaningless as a dozen eggs going from $2 a dozen to $3 a dozen. It will not prevent anybody. Yeah, but you say that, but what it means is you have less purchasing power. Your money doesn't go as far. If you make the equivalent of $2,000 every month and it changes and everything is more expensive, listen, I can tell you, bacon is now $2.69, up from $2.65, up from $2.15, 215 baht rather. 215, 265, 269. Now, I can tell you that I would come here with 1,000 baht. I get less now for 1,000 baht than I did 4 months ago. Bacon's more expensive. Sausage's more expensive. Milk used to be 79, 81 baht. Now it is almost 100 baht. 95 baht. Sometimes, in some cases, 120 baht. Depends. Eggs are more expensive. Now, I always buy eggs, 10 for 50 baht. These are the large eggs. I buy them from the market. That's what I buy. What's your view of the possibility of having to pay tax in Thailand if it ever gets passed? My view is wait and see what they say. Spending too much time on YouTube or social media can be a trap. I need to start living life again. Traveling is a start. Yes, it is. And I can tell you, I spend time on YouTube. In the morning, sometimes I do a little research. You know, I bring up some articles and things like that. Once I get off, I go to the grocery store. I go home. I go to the market. I relax. I watch a little TV or I take a nap. I go to the gym sometimes. But I don't go right back online and get on YouTube. Oh my God, what's going on? I don't do that. And maybe that's why my channel has never grown by leaps and bounds and I don't have 500,000 subscribers. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just me, I don't know. I don't really care. That's the thing, I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. My US, same time last year, got me 37.21. Today it's 32.39. It lost over 11% year to year. Yeah, I don't understand how you guys don't understand the math. 25,456, 24,567 dong per dollar. That's a lot of dong for the dollar. My ex would love 24,567 dong for in Vietnam. Yeah, how much is a dong right now? Is that what it is? Let's see here. Because we just paid, let's see here, 1,000 dong. Well, 10,000 dong is 41 cents. 100,000 dong is $4.07. We paid 3 million dong, and it's 122 US dollars. At the time, it was $120.40. So, as much as you guys don't want to look at the exchange rate, you have to. I hate to tell you. Tell me I'm wrong, but I can show you the math. I love social media, especially live streams. It's like when I used to come to work every day. Now that I'm retired, being here feels like coffee time at work before every time. Well, let me tell you something. I used to listen to Howard Stern. I used to listen to Mark and Brian when I lived in California, and they had 4-hour shows. And I thought, that's a little long. And when I started doing the live streams, I didn't really care what I was doing. Now I kind of care, and I don't want to be running around out in the hot sun, sweating my ass off, I'm getting older. I just don't feel like spending the energy. I get back from these things where I walk 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm out walking around. Before you guys even see me, I'm out walking around. So by the time I get back, I've been walking around for 3 hours. I walk miles, many miles, 5 miles. And I'm sweating my ass off in 90-degree weather, 80% humidity. I just don't want to do it. So that's why I decided, okay, let's make something an hour and a half to 2 hours long. It's you've got a kind of different subject. Sometimes we talk about the subject and we stick to it, sometimes we don't. And I think, I'm not really sure, but I think that's why the channel has grown a little bit. I have more subscribers than I've ever had, ever. I've never had as many subscribers as I have now, so hopefully it'll just keep increasing. I don't know. If it does, great. If it doesn't, oh well. It is what it is. What is this here? Talking over a beverage is the best way to have a good conversation. Or over a meal. I mean, I've been in dinner parties with 12, 15 people, especially back home, and people are laughing, they're eating. Some people they don't talk, and then all of a sudden they start talking. They stop eating, they start talking, and then everybody gets involved, and it's a lot of fun. And that's what I like. For me, honestly, a lot of the time I wake up in the morning and I go, fuck, I don't want to stream. I don't feel like streaming right now. I mean, I'm lazy. Goodbye there, Darth's son. My wife is calling me. It's time to go. All right. Sometimes I don't want to stream. Very often I don't want to stream. I'm like, oh, man. I don't want to do anything. In the morning I wake up, I'm lazy. It takes me 3 hours to get going. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. By 5 o'clock every day, I'm up. And it takes me 2-3 hours to get rolling. I'm dressed, I have my coffee, I sit there and, read my emails. Maybe I look at a little bit of what's going on. And then by 8 o'clock, I start going, okay, it's time to get up and get out of here. And so that's what I've started to do. I go to bed early, man. Most of the time I go to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at latest. I mean, it used to be I go to bed at 1 o'clock and wake up at 5. Now I don't do that. In Japan, the sun comes up around 5 a.m.-ish, so that makes sense. Yeah, the sun comes up around 6 here. But, I wake up at 5 o'clock. Usually, as soon as I wake up, the cats get up. They start meowing. I'm like, I just want to shut them up. I feed them. I put on a coffee. I make myself a double espresso. And, then it's just, I go take a shower, shave shit. Look at the internet a little bit, see what's going on, and then, we take it from there. I've always woken up at 5 a.m. since I was a kid. I mean, my mother started waking me up at 13, 14 years old. She'd wake me up at 6 o'clock. Oh, you got to go to school or whatever. I just started getting up earlier. And then I started working, and I was getting up really early. I was like, you know what? I like being able to get up. You sit there for a while. You're like, okay, I'm going to take my time. Okay, yeah, what do I have to do today? And, you can take your time. It's like, my wife goes to the airport. She'll go, what time am I going to fly? And I'll go, you got to fly at 3:15. She'll go, okay, so 3:30. No, 3:15. Okay, so I gotta leave at 2:15. I'm like, no. You need to leave at like 1 o'clock and you'll be there at 2 o'clock, and that way you're there in plenty of time before you get to fly. And I know if I tell her, okay, you need to leave at 1, she'll be ready at 1:15 or so. So I always BS her a little bit, tell her she has to be ready a little bit earlier. And then by the time we get there, we have plenty of time. We can sit there, we can have a coffee. We can, you know, look at people as they go by. We can do whatever, and it works fine. I love my morning routine. Wake up, turn on the tape player, go to the bathroom, shave, shower, brush teeth, refill water pitchers, stretch, drink veggie juice, coffee, take supplements, boom. Yeah. I like that. And I like my little, you know, I mean, I'm not going to stream tomorrow, I promise. And I probably won't stream on Thursday. But I'll stream on Friday. But I like the routine I have. I like streaming in the morning sometimes, and then I like going to the grocery. Sometimes I don't go to the grocery. Yesterday I didn't go to the grocery. Today I will go. I need some butter, I need a couple other things. But I like going to the grocery once a week to buy the bulk. I spend like $3,000 to $5,000. Buy a bunch of stuff, and then during the week I'll buy some milk and bread, you know, the staples. I have a bad habit of staying up and watching CNBC live stock market coverage. I need to try your routine. Stop watching CNBC. Give yourself 15 minutes to watch everything, to take it all in, and you set your alarm clock. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. You go, I'm watching this for right now because this is really important to me. You know, for me, gold is important right now. Because in a couple of months, that's what I might start doing. I might start putting my money into gold. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but perhaps. And, you know, I'll just hang on to it. You know. Of course, it'll be hidden in a safety deposit box. Far away from the greedy little hands of anybody who wants to steal it. But, you know, everybody has their own way of doing things. You just have to get the routine down. I mean, this wasn't my routine 20 years ago. I mean, I had a routine at one point where I woke up and I didn't really get out of the house until 11:30. I went and had lunch at 12 o'clock at this restaurant here in the mall. And then about 2 o'clock, I went down to the boxing gym. I got there at 3 o'clock. I was done by 5:36, and I'd get home about 8 o'clock, 7 to 8. I'd get home, have dinner, spend time with the wife, spend time with the kids, and that was it. That was my routine. So the routine's always changing, you know. Anyway, it's been a fun day. What time is it now? 10:20. 10:20. Oh, wow, I'm having some problems with the internet here. Let's see here. Is it connecting? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'd say that, oh, unable to connect. What's going on here? So now what happened to your families? Nothing happened to them. I still have a families. I like the idea of waking up early, but I want to get up with the sun. Try getting up a little bit earlier than when the sun comes up. Give yourself 15 minutes before the sun comes up. You're sitting in the bathroom most of the time, you're not going to know that, you know, oh, wow, the sun is up. You know, seems that you got no routines anymore. And it seems like you're full of shit. Fucking idiot. Once an idiot, always an idiot. Thank you for joining us, though. I appreciate it. Oh, come on. Let me see here if I can remember this. I got one of those. Ah, shit. Let me see if I can get there. There we go. All right, good deal. I'm back in business on my computer. Actually, it's my wife's computer. My wife has let me use her computer because my computer took a shit. I need to go in and get it taken care of and figure out what the deal is. Who's this dumb fuck? Ugh, God. I got one of those red light therapy lights to stimulate UV light when the sun is rising. I don't know if it works, but I like it. Well, that's all that matters. You know, this is the reason why I don't value being online too much. Because there's a lot of dumbasses out there. And you get to see them in their full glory. How did you meet your wife? That's what everybody says. My wife that I've been with for 25 years now. I met her, she worked at a company that my friend knew, and I just went in, saw her, started talking to her, and then I was like, I can't tell if she looks good or not. I couldn't tell she was wearing loose clothes. She was wearing loose clothes, and I was like, I can't tell what her body's like. I'm like, I gotta get a better look. So I started going in, and I started talking to her, and then I was like, her body looks pretty good. I was like, I don't know. Couldn't tell. But I started talking to her. We went out with a bunch of people, which I don't even know the people. Really, the people that we went out with, we don't even talk to anymore. There are two guys that I met. And, you know, I was like, oh, and my wife said, oh, I got my friends. We'll all go out together. We'll go out. We went to Khao San Road. We had some beer. We had some food. And then, you know, they went home. And then I went out with my wife again, and then the next thing I know, she's like, oh, you're sick today? Okay. I was sick one day. I said, I really don't feel good. I can't come see you. She goes, I'll come see you. And then that was it. That was a long time ago. That was when I had hair, and I was a bit thinner, a bit more thin. Anyway, now it's been 25 years. Nothing like it was 25 years ago, I'll tell you that. I'm very comfortable with her. She's very comfortable with me. And, yeah, I was about 36, 37. Yeah, right around 37. How old was she? She was about 21. Yeah, actually, it's been a little bit longer than 25 years. It might have been 26 years, something like that. And she was 22, I think, when I met her. She was just graduating university. She graduated university, and then I was like, all right, well, and she had told me I can't have a boyfriend while I'm in university, and it worked out. We were boyfriend and girlfriend while she was still in university, but she was almost done. I never forget that she said that to me. My mother told me, don't get a boyfriend until I get done with school. and she told that to Nicholas and Alex too. Don't ever have a girlfriend until you finish school because they'll distract you. And, you know, it's been a long time now, man. I mean, you know, she knows me better than anybody else, probably better than I know myself. And, you know, I don't know what else to say. And that's why when people say, don't ever get married, I always go, it depends on what person you meet and if you know, what you want out of your life. It's not always, you know, did I meet the right person? Sometimes you meet the right person and you just go, right now I just don't feel comfortable getting involved and having someone move in and doing all these things that you need to do if you're going to be a couple. But most of the time, if you meet somebody that's the right person and you're like, wow, this person's great, I really like them, I really want to be with them, I think I love them, I think I want to be close to them, and I don't want them to go away from me and then I don't see him anymore, or something like that, you know, whatever it might be. You pull the trigger, and that's it. You take a chance. You gotta take a chance. And listen, I've been with a few women in my life, and I never felt the urge. There's only one maybe where I felt the urge, and I knew that wasn't really right. So I wasn't gonna say, oh, you know, I mean, I said that in drunken revelry. But when I was straight, I never said it to the girl, oh yes, we need to get married, we're gonna have kids. I never ever talked about it. Never talked about it to anybody. You know, once I got married to my wife, it was like, you know, things progressed. So anyway, that's about the size of it. There we go. Another day. Another good stream. I really liked today's stream. It was a lot of fun for me. That was what I was going to say earlier, is a lot of times I wake up and I'm just like dreading, oh, I don't want to stream. I don't want to have to get up. And I just force myself to get up. You put one foot in front of the other. And by the time the stream is over, I'm like, hey, that was pretty fun. It was good. That's what happens. And every once in a while you get a little dildo like Marshall Lee. You got no routines anymore. Oh, really? Like, you really know me? You don't know shit, buddy. You know, let's just be out in the open with it. You don't know jack shit. MGTOW, I hope you meet your ladyboy of your dreams and they want to play video games with you. That's great. I mean that in a nice way. I don't mean that in a bad way. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for the donations. I appreciate it. Thank you for getting involved in the conversation, and thank you for watching. And thanks to all my subscribers, all the people, my VIP members, my Patreon members. Thanks to anybody who donates. I really appreciate it. And I guess I will see you on Friday. I don't know. They just seem to pass you by. You know, I think I went 94 was my first year. 94 or 93. I don't know. I have to look at my passport. But anyway, thank you, and I will talk to you later. We'll see you. Adios and all that stuff.